All right, I'm gonna do a last last pick of week 5. Can it's gonna be Las Vegas at Kansas City. I am definitely rolling with the Kansas City Chiefs. I think it's pretty obvious. Um, Kansas City coming off a huge win in prime time against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, scoring 41 points. Vegas is coming off a win against the Broncos, but I mean they looked really, really bad their first 3 games, and I don't think they're a legit team this year. I was hoping that they would. I was hoping it would be the other way around. I'd be thinking the complete opposite at the beginning of the year. I was hoping the Raiders would be better than the Chiefs, but that is not true. Patrick Mahomes to me is the right now. I think he's honestly the fairest MVP right now. He's been good every game, basically except for the game against the Colts. Um, Josh Allen being the other contender, as along with Jalen Hurts. Um, I just have Patrick Mahomes up there just because he just beat the Bucks, and I just think their wins are a little more impressive. And Josh Allen has had a couple shaky games. He's had a couple where he looked off. Patrick Mahomes had one, and Lamar had two. So far, I have Mahomes leading the MVP race. Las Vegas defense is horrible. I will be shocked if that defense can hold them under 30. I got this game going 35-20. The Chiefs defense isn't that great. I think Vegas is good enough to put 20 on them, but that offense is not. So the matchup wise, you know, you got the Raiders offense, which is like borderline top 10, and then the Chiefs defense, which is borderline bottom 20, right? Then you got the other side of the ball, Chiefs offense, which is arguably a top 5 offense, top 3, and then going up against the bottom 3 defense. That's going to be the difference of the game. Vegas will have a decent game on offense, but their defense is just so bad. I thought Chandler Jones would have a little bigger of an impact. I thought they would be at least getting after the quarterback, but they're not even doing that. Um, so yeah, I got this game going 35-20. I think Kelsey will get a touchdown for sure. For if FanDuel guys out there, I like Kelsey for 50 and a touchdown. I like Juju to get 40. I like uh, MVS to get 40 as well. I think Juju has a possibility of getting a touchdown, but I wouldn't lock that in. If you're making a couple bets, I would put Juju maybe on one of them for a touchdown score, and also Darren Waller might be a sleeper pick as well because he's kind of overdue. He's not playing bad at all. It's just their offense, the kind of like how the game has just ended up being. He just hasn't ended up with monster numbers. He's getting targets. He's got decent receptions this year. Um, the locks in this game, in my opinion, are if the Raiders aren't getting blown out right away, I think Jacobs is good for a touchdown. I think he's also good for 50 or 60 yards. Um, but Mahomes is the big one in this game. I got a couple parlays going, and most of them I have at least 250. A couple of them I have 275. One I have 300. So high hopes that Patrick Mahomes does well tonight. I don't see any reason that he wouldn't, um, unless it just is a wipeout right away and they just start running the ball at the end. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire might be a good play as well because he had a great game against the Bucks. But I think they're gonna attack. I think after seeing the Bills, the other Super Bowl favorites, play the way they played yesterday, Patrick Mahomes under the lights is really good. Uh, I just think that it's too perfect for the Chiefs not to annihilate them. This is the perfect game for them to be like show the country like we are the Super Bowl contender favorites. Like we are the favorites. I think that I Buffalo wiping out Pittsburgh like that. Patrick Mahomes is going to be motivated. Uh, I think that the Chiefs. right now after if they come out with and obliterate the Bills like they do, I'm probably gonna have them number one on my standings. Maybe the Eagles, but man, the Chiefs. Mahomes was doing it, man. I remember the first game I saw him play, and it was against my Broncos. They put him in at the end of the year, off right at the end of Alex Smith's tenure with the Chiefs, and they had locked their position up, their first round bye. So Patrick Mahomes got the start, and the Broncos at that time, I believe, had a top 3 defense, top 3 or 5 defense at that time. They had real like Aqib Talib, Chris Harris, Von Miller. Um, we had all our pretty much all our. It was I believe it was a year removed from the year we won the Super Bowl, Super Bowl 50, and that defense that carried us to the Super Bowl. I believe it was the same defense, and Patrick Mahomes could move the ball on them. At first start, he had a left-handed pass. He was running all over the field, had great arm strength. I was super impressed, and from that day forward, I was like, you know what, this dude is gonna be a star, and I would not be surprised if he took Alex Smith's spot, no matter how good Alex Smith performs. That guy is different. Lo and behold, that happened. I'm a Patrick Mahomes fan also because I'm an Iowa State fan with college, just because my father went there. I grew up loving them and cheering for them. But one team I kind of in college that I kind of cheered for a while because one of my favorite teams was is Texas Tech. Because Texas Tech had that one year where they had Graham Harrell, Michael Crabtree. That was one of the most fun offenses to watch. I loved their coach as well. Can't think of his name right off the top of my Mike Leach. Uh, so him being from Texas Tech, he was a starter over Baker Mayfield. Clearly, it was the right decision. Uh, I really like Mayfield's, or not, excuse me, Mahomes' path he's taken. Kansas City being a Midwest team, and Texas Tech, one of my favorite schools. And I've always enjoyed watching the Chiefs. Even though I'm a diehard Broncos fan, I don't play hate towards any teams really, except maybe the Chargers, just because their fans are so annoying. They think they're gonna be amazing every year, and they end up choking out losses. Y'all lucky you didn't lose yesterday. Your coach going for it on fourth down. Come on now. But I I remember I was always watching the Chiefs. I had a Larry Johnson jersey. I also had a Dwayne Bowe jersey. Even the Raiders back in the day when I first started watching, I really liked Rich Gannon and I had a Jerry Rice Raiders jersey. But I just like Patrick Mahomes' his story, and then I like how he holds himself like as a good quarterback. He's got his brother screwing off every game and being a distraction every game he's shown up to. They seems like they screw up in some way. He seems like a big distraction, and Patrick just keeps his cool. He deals with his wife or girlfriend, whoever's showing up to games, being overstaying her welcome. Let's just say that. I'm not gonna dive into the details, but she seems like she's a lot to handle. And then Jackson is just a uh lot to handle. So I commend Patrick Mahomes for being mature and like a good leader. I really do appreciate watching him as a football fan, and I'm looking forward to a entertaining game tonight.